We can all play a role in managing cyberspace by being informed, taking precautions, and reporting suspicious activities.
You're watching Weekend Deal, and we're talking about you and I. Indeed, all of us, and like we hear, all of us have a role to play, very integral role. It starts with asking yourself, why would I want to do something fraudulent that could cause psychological damage or challenge for somebody and cause them to lose money? What is on the minds of these people? Identity theft? Well, our guests are here. Let me now talk with Sadiq. You know, I was speaking with Engineer Innocent before, and he was talking about organizations, how they can protect what they have. Because what you have in your company, organization, or industry is of value to you. There's money, there's resource, there's skills, there's secrets. And someone is coming from outside, he hacks or they hack invisible people. They cause devastation and loss. We're talking about mitigation here today. What ought a company to do to mitigate? We've heard about hygiene from Engineer Innocent, you know. Can we go into more detail?
Yeah, organizations can do a number of things to stay safe. One is on the technology side, they need to make sure that their technology infrastructure is up to date. So what that means is, for example, do they have antivirus running on those machines? Are the antivirus, are they updating? You know, these are the fundamental questions. Then the next stage is the softwares they have, are they even licensed? You know, these are some of the basic things that they need to do from the technology side. Then from the awareness side and training, they need to be able to train their staff regularly. Okay, for a typical scenario might be you see a flash drive in the office space, maybe on the floor. What do you think? Like, you do pick it up, do you plug it into the machine? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Who even owns that flash drive that you found? Because it might be like a flash drive that has been infected by a threat actor. These are all possibilities that are not far-fetched. Depends on the threat actor, what he's looking out for in that organization, but these are the things that organization needs to do, and that training should not just be a one-off. And cybersecurity, or think conversations around the cyberspace, is not just for the IT side, from the for the IT team, because you see a lot of organizations when it comes to cybersecurity, once you say cybersecurity, is okay, it's the IT side. No. I think it's both a management problem, like and like basically it's an entire team problem. It's a problem that affects everybody within the organization.
So everyone must get on board.
Everybody must get on board. That security man that you put in your office, what does he know? Does he know the basic information about staying safe? Like the way you dispose of your office documents. You know, time to time you produce office documents. How do you dispose them? Do you make sure that every paper is shredded before you throw it out, or does the cleaner just come, packs it up, everything, and then throws it out? Because sometimes you get information, sensitive information, that is left in this paper.
Wow.
So you need to have, like, there are of course industry standards that organizations can adopt. And when you adopt this organization
standards,
yeah, it helps guide the organizations on the do's and don'ts. And then of course sometimes you have to localize that standards to your environment. And of course a lot of these organizations are really small organizations, and then they think that, oh no, we don't have the money to implement this. No, I think every organization,
it is critical.
Yeah, it's critical. Need to adapt some form of preventative measure, because it's cheaper to prevent than to try
to mitigate or to cry and weep afterwards.
Okay, Engineer Innocent, let's leave organization to normal human people who are users of the cyberspace. We hear of some stories of happily ever after, and ask them, how did you meet your husband? We met on social media. How did you meet your wife? She said hello to me on social media, and today we are exchanging rings. And then we hear horrible stories of people meeting and it is fatal. Personally, what should young people do when they have this conversation with people who are telling them, I like you, can we meet? What are the personal things we can do to ensure that we don't have these stories that touch the heart?
Yeah, stories that touch the heart. Thank you for that. One thing I want to pick out, you talked about young people, right? I think the mistake we're making as a society is allowing the young persons to go on social media unguided, right? Because as a parent, you know, I mean, some of us grew up.
No, I'm talking about young adults
Marriageable people
now.
living on their own.
Yes.
So yes,
Let's get there.
Okay.
Let's get there.
Okay.
You see, when you talk about marriageable, right, it means that they're not yet married. So they have an ideology. We have the Gen Zs, right? Okay. And then the understanding is that some of the persons we call young persons are born into technology. You'll agree with me?
yes, true.
So their orientation is different.
Yeah.
And so now, and they are being parented by people who do not understand technology. So there's a gap. So we have to start from there.
Okay, good.
Even if you think that they are grown up to get married, they were born in technology. So the understanding of social media is that that's the society they know. That's where they know.
True.
But unfortunately, the parents don't know that society. So the first we need to do, first of all, is to begin to guide them on how to take those precautions we do physically online. Do not speak to a stranger. When you meet a stranger, try to know who the person is. I mean, when your dad or your mom see you, even if you're grown, with a guy, you need to hide and see your boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
But on social media, they don't hide. You don't even know that he has a guy that has invited her to come to Lagos. You don't know. So the first we need to do is to help young persons understand that not every person on social media is real.
True.
That's the first we need to know. And then how do you find those who are real? There are yardsticks. You need to, your conversations that someone has with you every day gauges who the person is. Now there is a side of verification. If you find things that you're so much hooked up with this person, and this person is in, maybe you're in different towns,
Yes.
right? And the person wants to see you physically. Try and find out whether that person is real. You have somebody there, even if you don't have, you could find a way to get to confirm.
Yes.
Is this person real? Do a background check.
Your
Is this
due
a distance?
diligence.
Yeah, due diligence. But young persons will not want, because there's a disconnect between the parents or the guidance or whoever there is a circle around them. They want to, hide the relationship until they come home with the person and say, this is my guy or this is my lady. So that's where the parents come, or where the society comes in to say, we check each other. Okay. For instance, there are persons off air. We're talking about auditing those who follow you online. Because the truth of the matter is that it was quite.
We have stalkers and trolls.
Yeah,
People are looking for followership. Would they audit? People want the numbers. People are looking for the numbers.
Yeah, the more you look for the numbers, the more you're influenced by what you read, you hear, you watch, and you become what you consume. So most times,
that's profound.
Yeah, most times these young persons are confused by what they consume. You know, you started with Happy Ever After.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You say, if this person met online, we could.
Yes.
It doesn't
Yes.
happen to me.
Yeah, so what we need to do first, due diligence, inciting you to get involved in educating people and say, even if it happens right, make sure you find a way to verify, right? Then the third aspect of it, if you're meeting someone you've not seen before, meet in an open space.
I like that.
Go
Thank
with
you.
somebody.
Or go with somebody. Yeah, go with somebody and meet in an open space, and make sure that at least, even if not your parents, your closest persons know your movement.
Know where you are.
Right? Have a trail of your conversations with the person, so that if anything happens, you could trail. There's a
No,
story.
we have a real life
Yes,
experience.
example,
Now,
the
just
girls
to
have
say
to
this
do
to
this
the
from
Ghanaian
Lagos.
girl and the girl from Nigeria.
So these are the things we need to do. But I still want to go back that beyond that, we need to begin to educate the homes on the danger of social media. As we are enjoying the good side of it, we need to begin to tell parents that they need to know where the communities that their children belong to. You need to belong there. Yeah,
You
because
will not become your children's stalker.
no, you don't need to become your children's stalker. You just need to be
Follow
there
them.
to know what they do. Okay, when you ask, I go back to it again, who are your friends?
Yeah.
As a parent, you ask that question, even when they are at a marriageable age. want to say, I want to host your friends. Some parents are
Nice
like
one.
very
Yes,
good like
nice
that.
one.
yes.
Just to know.
I do that. Yeah, just to meet
They
you,
want
your
to know
friends.
their
No.
sleep
Whatever,
of
call
thinking.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but your child stays around and they don't have friends. But they're happy.
Yeah, they're happy.
That's weird, right?
They don't go out. They are inside.
But
But
they're
they are
happy.
hosting party online.
Indeed.
Yeah. You don't know. Now the question,
Right.
when it happens, you say, oh my God, who did I offend? You didn't offend anybody. You didn't do the right thing. You do not belong to the community to know what they're doing.
Some of our children could even be these hackers we're talking about who are hacking into organizations.
No, but they are human beings.
Yes.
The hackers are human.
And some of them are in homes where somebody has not paid attention to what they are doing.
Yeah, most of them are from homes, not some. I mean, a lot of them are
Yes, yeah.
hacking from
And
their
we
homes.
hear that some of them are family members, some are friends, many live in our community.
And some do it for pleasure. Yeah, some do it for pleasure. To just lay down
Some
and
people
can do
cause
this.
pain.
Yeah,
huh?
some do it. They don't
It
even.
pleases them.
There are aspects of those, what we call, I mean, some of them they call the grey hackers. They just want to test their skills. Yeah.
Ethical hackers. I
Well, like
have.
you
Yeah,
said
no.
now that we become what we consume. Some people started like play, like a hobby, like a game, and then it starts to consume them. They go from, is it catfishing or fishing or whatever, to doing big time fraud to the extent where they become renowned and they become dangerous.
Yes, and then talking about that, another aspect of cyberspace is fake news. You read some things and you're like, they use it to drive traffic. Is there a way we can actually verify what we read on social media? Let's say they just write that Patience is a billionaire. How do people check?
But that's good news.
Sorry, man. Let me start for myself. Patience suddenly becomes a billionaire.
Good news.
How will Thelma or you check that it's not true, but let it be true, Sha?
So once I see headline like that, what I will do to put it in a scenario format is I would just check on Google, do a quick Google search.
Okay.
I would say, okay, which other news outlet is reporting that Patience is a millionaire?
Yes,
She's-
billionaire.
Billionaire,
Yeah.
15 billion naira.
Yes.
Which other news? Is it the popular household news media outlets? And who else is reporting it? If it's just a blog, then you start questioning yourself. That okay, it's just a blog that someone wrote an article about you. So you need to dig deep, dig deep and try to understand exactly who it is. Then there are, like, for example, if I saw a picture of you like chilling in like tons and tons of cash,
You know
what
what
I
I'm
could
saying?
I'm into that. What I will do is, just to put it in a scenario format, I would take that image, put it up on Google, do a Google search, like a reverse image.
Okay.
Google will now show you where that picture has been, like who has published that picture. So if you see just one of that picture, then you begin to question, okay, that picture maybe is not real. Maybe it's just one person that edited that picture. And if you see multiple of it, then you begin to say, okay, maybe it's true. And if it's like a news from, you can also, the person that posts that, if it's a social media influencer or an individual or whatever, you can actually verify what kind of news have they been posting in the past. Are they real? Are they genuine? Because there's what they call bots online. What bots are is they're created by threat actors to give out fake news. And you, as an ordinary person, you may not know that this is not a
But what
real
do they benefit
individual.
from that?
People have different things for different
Like you said,
reasons.
pleasure.
Some people do it just to spread false news about another person, to bring another person
Malicious,
down.
yeah.
Malicious.
Some are even paid to do it. aren't they?
Some are paid to do it. It's like a service that are found in the dark web.
Yeah.
Dark web is the hidden part of the internet that we don't see. So it's a whole marketplace that people buy and sell things, that all sorts of illegal stuff. So the idea is, you see something, you always want to verify, especially when it's sensational, especially towards election. That's when you see all sorts of information coming up about different politicians, and you want to verify, even if it's your politician, someone you follow, you want to verify that news that they said about him.
Okay.
Is it true?
Is it true?
Which-
Okay.
yeah.
While
It
we are
all
doing
boils down to due diligence.
due diligence, my sister.
In
Okay,
every
so
area.
while we are doing all that, we know that there's cyber fraud, but what are the consequences and what are the implications of cyber fraud? NT Abuja will tell us more about that.
The growing use of the internet in the last decade gave rise to a new area of law that has since come to be known as cyber law. As the digital landscape rapidly evolves, new legislations and regulations and industry-specific regulators have the power to investigate data breaches and cyber attacks.
Interesting, isn't it? There's a way these people can be taken to court. But the thing is, how can they even be found? They are invisible. We just heard about the dark web. How often are they caught? How often are they brought to book? There are laws, there are policies, there are legal implications, but how many have been able to fish out and get them to face the full wrath of the law? We're talking on Weekend Deal today about risk, impact, and mitigation of the cyberspace. Don't go anywhere and keep your experiences and messages coming in. A break beckons, we'll take it.
It is Weekend Deal, your favorite weekend show on TV. We asked you to join our conversation and you graciously joined us. I'll be reading out some of your messages now. Okay, so somebody said, in my opinion, I think we should be vigilant online. That's what we've been saying all day, all morning. Please let us know where you're writing us from, and we would appreciate that. And then another person has written to us and said, whoa, it's a long one. He said, good morning, I am thank God Victor from Taraba. I must say and thank you all for the way Nigeria, thank you all for what you're doing. The only way Nigeria can escape from cybercrime is by let everybody be vigilant. Parents, make sure your children don't have access, and stay with your children. Hear them out. You are a parent. Understand your child. You are to share your problems with, let your children share your problems with you and your partner for help. Then the government or these internet experts to build a website where both parents and children can express how they feel, and they can talk when they are being bullied. So he said there should be a website where okay. So somebody now wrote, he said he is Ozigbe from Ojebefu in Abuja. Please ask the experts. I found out that people use witchcraft to see or read people's head or pin to get their passwords effortlessly. How can we stop this, please? Okay? Witchcraft. Good morning, NTA. My name is Musa Ramat Baniya. I am from Kwara State. I'm a student. Please, how do I secure myself online? Okay. More messages are coming in.
Well, as our guests can address a few
of them that have just, so I mean, the one I will ask you first now, witchcraft. So I had my pin inside my innermost mind. I didn't write it anywhere.
In your brain.
Then somebody will come and get witchcraft. I know that her password is XYZ. How?
There are a number of strategies, tools, and techniques that are used to get people's password.
Okay.
So to make it very practical, I was working with a colleague, and then we're trying to access a particular computer, and we couldn't. Like, it was a home computer that was brought in for one of our bosses then, and my colleague was like, the password has to be, and she said it. I said how? I did it, and it worked. Computer open, and then we were able to treat it. So the idea is, she understood it was a child around a certain age bracket, so it's easy for her to guess. That was a typical scenario of how the password was able to able to be extracted. So now, for a broader perspective is, for example, you see a WhatsApp message that says click here to win XYZ amount. By the time you click, sometimes if there's a payload means there is a nefarious software code around that. It can now be tapping your passwords, like whatever you key in. So that's why they said, I mean, we advise that whenever you see a link and you're not sure, it looks suspicious,
don't click on it. Just
leave it alone. That 50,000 that is there, just leave it. It's not your own, because it's a bait in a lot of cases. Then of course there are other hardware devices that they put on a computer. There's a third actors. When they have physical access, they can put it behind your desktop and then begin to extract this information. So the idea is to be vigilant. When you're using your computer, when you see anything that you don't understand, like Office, just call the IT guy, say, okay, what is this? I don't understand. It's like a flash drive. What is it? I don't understand. So you need to be able to ask questions. So this thing about social engineering we hammer on it a lot, because most of this that happens is not through witchcraft. Sorry, I'm a scientist.
So you are being very vigilant.
You have to be vigilant.
Okay, we need to go to Port Harcourt now. They want to join this conversation, and what they're taking a look at is the risks of online borrowing and loan sharks. Port Harcourt, we know you're there. What did you find?
When we talk about the advancement of tech in our world,
To protect citizens, and I also think that these online loan givers, I don't want to call them sharks now, should have offices where people can access them. Yes, you're online, but let's have a physical structure, because I've had experiences where if someone who has never borrowed before, you're being harassed to come pay monies that you know nothing about. So a whole lot of sanitization should be done.
We're wrapping up our conversation now. We've been talking about risk, impact and mitigation on the cyberspace. Engineer Innocent, what are you saying goodbye with, briefly?
Okay, I think the first thing is for us to become good digital citizens. And that means we need to be careful what we do, take responsibility of what you do online, understand what your rights are, understand what you need to do to be safe. And like we've said it here, the way you take your safety serious offline, make sure you take that seriousness online. Guard everything, your data, your details, your password, what you share online. Don't share everything.
Yeah.
Don't let people know everything, because it's what they use to get back to you.
Okay.
And like the final thing, like they say in cybersecurity, is that look before you click.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sadiq.
Cybersecurity is a shared responsibility. So it's not a responsibility for the parent alone or the child. It involves everybody within the household. Then from the organizational standpoint, it involves the management, top management, and the bottom team.
Yeah.
So it's a shared responsibility cut across every individual, every team. So everybody needs to play his path and don't overshare information.
So let's all own it. Management, do your part. Staff,
Yeah.
do your part. Nigerians, do your
Your
part.
part.
Watch that neighbor, watch that relative,
Yeah.
watch that friend. They may love you, they may say it. Some of them are hacking you real time.
Okay, yeah, so we've come to the end of the show. I was good. See, there's one question I didn't ask, because I said how, imagine a
This is how you do it. So we're
listen
chopping
now.
apple. They've asked us to begin to observe the closing formalities.
We are closing.
No, nudge him and then keep talking.
Okay, so I was going to ask him how we make money online, because I just said if patience becomes a millionaire.
They're not cool. You don't stop it to
He doesn't
continue.
even.
Patience is a billionaire, not in the
No,
making.
no, no, I was
she's
going to
made.
ask questions.
And